One isn't necessarily born with courage, but one is born with potential. If that is so, how can a person determine his or her potentials? First, one must be able to identify his or her passion. Having a passion to a particular thing tells where primarily your heart is. If you always find yourself doing that thing, which you really love to do, then that would be an indication that you may possibly uncover your potential easily. Next is that you have the affirmation from others. One cannot just say that he or she is good with this and that if nobody appreciates what he or she is doing. For example, you say you are a very good singer, but the people around you get so irritated whenever they're hearing your voice. Therefore, it is very important that you take these two as your standard in discovering your potential. To continue, everyone has inside of him a piece of good news. And the good news is that you don't know how great you can be, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. So, as you discover your potentials and decide to use and develop it, many good things and advantages you can be able to achieve. You can have your self-confidence, you can be more competitive, you can do better outputs, and lastly, you can have a great possibility that you can be able to achieve your goals. Then if you come up with a decision to let your potential sprout and grow, surely you can grasp all the advantages of having and using your full potentials. I suppose at this moment, you are now starting to think of what your potentials are. I assume that all of you already have an idea. I know not all of you here are convinced with their potentials, or maybe you just can't show off what you have inside of you. But let me remind you this. Consult not your fears, but your hopes and your dreams. Think not about your frustrations, but about your unfulfilled potentials. Concern yourselves not with what you tried and failed in, but with what it is still possible for you to do. How about the factors which hinder your potentials to sprout out? Is it your family, your friends, your past experiences, or your current situation? No. Don't let those matters sink into you and just let it trap you off. Very truly I tell you, those things will just hinder your potentials from developing. And if this happens, again I will say to you, your potentials will just keep on being a potential. Yes, it is there, but nothing is happening. And now, to share you something, I, Alyssa Darantinao, also a college student just like you, already had an experience being shelled with a great fear of so many things. I used to neglect my capabilities and refused to take a step forward and go to a higher level. Truly I tell you, such foolishness hampered great things which are supposed to be mine. And that was one of the greatest mistakes I've ever done in my life. But that was before. The girl speaking in front of you right now is not the same as the girl I left many years ago. The day I learned how to discover and value myself, that was also the start for me to damp off all the things that hinder my potentials. And now see, I graduated with honor when I was in high school. I am taking one of the best and toughest course in PLM. And lastly, the most important thing happened to me is that I am now serving God using the talents He has given me. In addition, do you not know that Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world, started to show an interest in computer programming at the age of 13 years old at Lakeside School? At his very young age, he already gave an attention to what he really likes. He discovered that he has the potential on making programs, that's why he valued it. He spent much of his time working on programs until he became good at it. And now, because of his passion and dedication to carry out his skills in order to bring new innovations, technological innovations, Bill Gates built the world's largest software business, the Microsoft. Sounds great, right? You can be like other people who are successful too. Actually, you can be even greater than them. But that would only be possible if you will let your potentials grow and be spilled out. Therefore, if you really want to become successful in the near future, starting this day, take an effort to discover, value, and use your full potentials before it is late. My fellow students, listen to this carefully. Before you unleash your potentials and let it run off, it is very important that you learn how to love and value yourself first. And after you let loose of it, choose to be around people who are making you feel good about yourself. Then don't just stop on that. You must step out from your comfort zones and keep going in spite of difficulties. You must also work towards the goals which make you feel passionate and purposeful. And lastly, let me share this one passage in the Bible. There it is said, "Know that the Lord is God. It is He who made us, and we are His. We are His people, the sheep of His pasture." It is clearly stated that God is our Creator. Therefore, since God made us, let us not stop thanking Him for the gifts and talents He had given us. He is the very reason why we have our potentials. So guys, don't you ever try to forget it. Thank you and God bless.